Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Mario Fatemi. Getting into our next segment here, we're going to dive into Jalen Brunson. I don't understand. I, I'm not going to bring up Stephen A. again, but is Jalen Brunson really the best player left in this year's playoffs? No. Like, no. He is one of the best. Don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal player. He's the clutch player of the year. He's the leading talent on the New York Knicks. He's pretty much carried that offense through the playoffs so far, and he's a big reason why they are where they are. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be where they are right now. He is the difference maker for this Knicks team that takes them from good to exceptional the way they are right now. So major props to him, and he deserves all the credit in the world. But no, he's not the best player left in the playoffs. He may be the player that's asked to do the most, but that doesn't make you the best player in the league. That's not what. That's never that makes you the most valuable player on a team, but that doesn't make you the best player. The best player in the league right now, and I'm kind of torn on this because I think all three guys on the other teams. I think we can. I don't want to. I don't want to dismiss Anthony Edwards. And if we were doing this, if we had this conversation yesterday, I probably would have picked Anthony Edwards before I saw game one. But game one, Anthony Edwards really turned me off in game one because I know how good Anthony Edwards is. I've been a fan of Anthony Edwards for a while now. But, and I say that performance last night was inexcusable. So I can't say he's the best player left in the playoffs. I don't think Shai is. I think Shai gets. I think as much as I said we shouldn't talk about it as much, I think Shai's free throws disparity, the way he's able to get to the free throw line as much, kind of turns me off a little bit from him being the best player left in the playoffs. I know he's exceptional talent, and I'm willing to look past it. Am I willing to say Tyrese Halliburton? I don't know if I think I just have to roll with Shai. I think Shai is the best player left in the playoffs. I would say Anthony Edwards normally, and this is like nitpicking. This is nitpicking. And who knows? Maybe he has another great. If he has a great game in game two, I'll close my mouth. Do you want me to say that? Actually, for all anybody watching, this is for receipts. You have my receipts of saying this. If Anthony Edwards, I think Anthony Edwards is the best player left in the playoffs. I just think he had a very, very bad game in game one, and I expect him to bounce back. If he does, he can regain that title of the best player left in the playoffs. But if he doesn't, he solidifies that title of why he's not the best player left in the playoffs. That inconsistency does not work. It doesn't. And I know it would be inconsistent regardless. A poor game one, a great game two. But I think bounce back games speak volumes on your talent. If you have a bad game, and you're able to come back out and go off for 30, 40 points, you deserve to get that bad game wiped clean. Why? Because you made up for it. You did. It's kind of like making a mistake at work. You make a mistake at work, you go to your boss, you apologize for it. The boss says, "It's okay, but I want to see more action out of you," and he starts giving you tough love. And you turn around and you work your tail off to make up for it, and then your boss comes around and says, "You know what? You're all good, man. Don't worry about it. You're on good terms. You made up for it. You're doing well right now." That's that's how Anthony Edwards can regain that title of being the best player left in the playoffs. But I think right now we have to give it to Shai. As much as I want to say Tyrese Halliburton because I love Tyrese, I think we have to give it to Shai. I really do. Shai is leading the team. He's the number one option. He's pretty much carrying that Oklahoma City offense on his back right now. He really is. And shooting the ball at the volume he is, being able to get to the free throw line, shooting the three. He hasn't shot the three particularly well in the playoffs yet, but that's probably the area of his game that needs the most work. If he wants to work on anything in his game, it's probably that. And Shai knows that. Shai, when you listen to Shai talk, you know Shai is one of those guys that he's like not only just a leader of the locker room, but one of those disciplined guys that's always working to improve his game in the offseason. If I had to compare Shai to anybody of the past, like think about how Kobe Bryant was. If there's anybody that reminds me of Kobe Bryant of back in the day, the way they handled themselves, the swag, the attitude, I wouldn't say the ego, but definitely the swag, the way the confidence, that Shai contains, that he plays with. I think it's very much Kobe Bryant esque. It really is. So I wouldn't say he is Kobe Bryant because I don't think he's that type of defender yet. I don't think he's that good of a two-way player yet. If he can start shooting the three and improve his shot from three, I think he could become that. But for now, he's probably the best player in the league, in the playoffs, left to go. Out of the four teams that are left, I think he's the best player out of those four teams, and I think he deserves that. Jalen Brunson is a close second, but I don't think Jalen Brunson. I don't. Jalen Brunson is great, but I don't think he's going to be able to. He doesn't carry the offense the way that Shai does. I think Shai does more for his team than Jalen Brunson does at times. Not all the time, but at times. That's just my take on it, and that could be a crazy take. You guys can let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm rolling with Shai on this one. Jalen Brunson is great, but I gotta give it to Shai. And then like I said, Anthony Edwards. If he has a bounce back game, in game two, I'll give him the title back. I wanted to give it to Anthony. If I'm so serious when I say, if this question was asked to me yesterday, I'm picking Anthony Edwards every single time. Every single time. Anthony Edwards is a killer player. He really is. He's one of the best. He has the title of legend killer for a reason, the way he's performed the last 2 years in the playoffs. Even 3 years ago, he was a great player, but he wasn't this. 2 years ago, or last year, he made a jump, and this year he's continuing to make a jump in the playoffs into that superstar standpoint. But I'm going to leave it on that note. I'm going to take one last short break. Coming up next, we're going to switch gears from the playoffs into the offseason because not only is there not enough to talk about the playoffs, and I wish there was, this is why I don't like the conference finals as much as I like the first and second round, because there's always something to talk about. There really always is something to talk about, and it was just always pack show. Now it's just like, what am I going to talk about today? And I have to think about questions, and I think the question, regardless, I'm going into the production side of things. This is what happens when I talk to myself for too long. But I'm going to take a short break. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and his name being linked to the Golden State Warriors over the last 2 weeks or so. And we'll discuss how Giannis would fit into that system. So, yeah, you're watching the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.